everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Lee, Virtual Hugs, and I'm back with another building because I continue to get inspired by beauties on Pinterest. I saw this super extra mini teeny weeny abandoned castle and it was such a cool structure. It looked a little bit haunted in the image, however, I liked the structure of it and I thought to myself, well, I really want to build another venue, another family friendly venue, and I really want to focus on a whimsical type structure. So I meshed the library theme with the whimsical family friendly idea, and this is the build that you're going to get. There is a reason for my inspiration and it has to do with a challenge, but we'll get to that at some other point. But I really wanted to build a library. I didn't want to do a standard library, and I thought, you know, with the parenthood pack and everything that we got in the last couple of months, I want to say that the fitness pack had a few like decor items too that I wanted to continue to utilize. I've been really inspired to build a very whimsical build, and I'm hoping that that's what this translates into. So what you'll see is a very mini castle that will become the children's library building, and it becomes more than just a library. It becomes a learning center. So you'll see that we'll add just a bunch of activities for children to do in a little bit. But let's talk about the exterior. I spend a lot of time on the exterior, placing the most amount of clutter and random detail to the outside of this building. I really overuse the plaster wallpaper. You guys know what I'm talking about. You'll see it here in a second. That's the wallpaper I'm talking about. But it has the most utilitarian use. I mean, I can use it in a kitchen, I can use it in a living room, I can use it for an exterior. And the image on Pinterest, the actual stone that they used had this plastered look. So I figured, why not? And I do want to incorporate a lot of color in this build. So the way I do that is, well, you just saw me do it on the little mini second roof there. I added some glitter green wallpaper, and then you'll see me try and figure out, one of the things with building for me is that I don't measure as much as I should, and then sometimes the windows are kind of wonky. So thankfully we had these like very odd shaped windows that I was able to select and use for the front facade, so everything looks symmetrical. This is a very much symmetrical build, so you'll see me use symmetry with everything. The flags are the same. There's two identical towers. The windows on each of the sides are symmetrical. These colorful windows on the side match in pattern. So the other thing I wanted to really focus on, like, I took my time, okay, just putting detail. So I wanted columns, and I wanted to ensure that everything that needed a column, or everything that I felt needed a column, let's just call it quality control. That was my stance with this build, not only in aesthetic beauty but in functionality. So I decided that the front of the lot is really facing a different direction, so I pushed the castle all the way to the back so that the front yard will be sort of a park. And now you're seeing me put the little butterfly lights. I love those things so much. I was gonna make them really, really large, and then I thought, you know, if I keep them small, I can put a bunch of them on there and they'll light up the front of the castle. I also used some roof decor for the front of the castle. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I never change it, so that's how you're gonna get it. So we quickly merged to me mapping the walkways, and I'm gonna be super ridiculous with the build and put decals literally all over this build. You'll find that I start perusing the inventory a lot and try to figure out, you know, what else can I put on the front of this castle? It's really bogged down. If the castle felt any weight at all, it would be falling face forward because, oh, I just bumped my desk. I apologize. But I tried that shelving in the front and then I decided to remove those. So in a few minutes, you'll see me completely remove those from the build. I wanted a little puppet section under the magic tree, and I really want to create different nooks and crannies for your pixelated children to be able to, you know, focus on different things in this venue and never run out of things to do. So there's a puppet area that I created there, and then off camera I do a lot more sprucing up in terms of flowers and things like that in that section, because while I was playtesting it, I realized that it was lacking a little bit. So now you're going to see me put some more color in by way of plants. I do like, you know, now that I'm looking at the video, I do like the railing. There's two different colors there, but I don't mind. I really wanted a blast of different colors. I didn't want to focus on a certain color here or a certain color there. I really wanted it to not be clashy or obnoxious, but I wanted this lot to look like you had a dream and it was one of those crazy dreams. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of dreams that just make no sense, but they're beautiful. I wanted this lot to be like that, almost like an Alice in Wonderland type of adventure for every single one of your pixelated Sims. So now I'm going around and putting lights, but I do add more lights here and there throughout the build. The more I add stuff, the more I have to remember to go back, turn the status into night, and ensure that I go in and just lose myself in lighting up the place, because this reminds me of when I was a little girl or a younger girl in Puerto Rico. My uncle Landy took us to, they call it the Park of Lights, during Christmas. And while in Puerto Rico it doesn't snow, and you might get some frost in the mountains, but it doesn't snow. But they had this huge, like, Christmas is such a big deal in Puerto Rico. Okay, so Christmas starts literally in November and it doesn't end till, like, I don't know, the second or third week in January, because we celebrate Three Kings Day. So anywho, long story short, there's a beautiful Park of Lights, and I really wanted to emulate that environment in this build. I'm going to go around and I'm going to put, take those shelves away because I don't like them, and just start adding these pretty potted plants in the front of the build. And I almost left it at this, and then I was like, I don't know, I was playing around with it, and the towers still, amazingly, to me, felt really bare. It needed more color. So you'll see me in a few minutes take those plants and just start moving them all around the tower. You'll see what I mean in a little bit. Continue to add detail. I love these little, what are they, like cloud lamps? I know they came in Parenthood, but oh my goodness, they are so darling. Anywho, the other thing that I was going to do with this build is to incorporate a story, because I'm very story focused. And last night I couldn't sleep because the story just kept bothering me. And usually when you can't sleep because you have a story in your head or whatever, the characters are really trying to be born. And it's like a birthing, it's like a birthing scenario where they won't let you alone until you bring them to life via your story. And unfortunately, because of the lack of time, I can't bring them to life in this story. But I wanted to show you images here and there of my Sims that I used to play test this venue, and how they carried on. And the story was going to be super, super special. And I didn't want to completely share it with you guys right now because maybe I can somehow tell the story in a different way at some other point in time. But I was sharing with my friend Spacey Sims in Twitter that I was building this, and I really got inspired by the whole entire castle theme. I know this is a very teeny castle, but I wanted a moat. I wanted a moat and I wanted a bridge, and I surprisingly didn't struggle that hard to create it. And while there are some better builders in the community that could have done probably a better job than this, I'm still completely proud of this bridge, okay? I love it. I love the idea of it. I feel like it's so romantic. It's just so girly, and I love it. I tried to make this a gender neutral build, but I think I work it out in the interior, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. I don't want to spoil the surprise on the interior. And now that I see the horse and buggy, I almost want to go back and put it in there. But you know what? If you download it and you want it there, you guys know how to do it. To make objects big, you press Shift and the right bracket to make things bigger. So you can take those toys, make them bigger, and place them on the lot if you'd like. The other thing that I really worked on a lot is the, what do you call that, spray brushing thingy-majigger? I wanted this fantasy look. I wanted this to look like a place that you've never been to but in your dreams. And I wanted to put like different kinds of shading of grass and make it look very fairy-esque, for lack of a better word. I'm going around and putting rocks all over because I want the moat to look sort of contained, but I don't like the symmetry in the rocks, so you'll see me break that up in a little bit, because in the main moat, that big section of the moat, I start interweaving different size stones, and then I also noticed that they were different color stone. And it was just, it was so much better looking, but time consuming. And you see that I completely lose interest in like a few seconds. You'll see me pause because I'm like, I'm just so over putting stone in this moat that I start like farting around with other things in the build. But I eventually come back to it. And the other thing that I liked, and this was actually Spacey Sim's idea. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you can put different colors from like Get Together," and I'm like, in the water. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. Yes, thank you so much. And I love this romantic looking one. I was gonna turn it like red, or I don't know. I think there's a bright purple one, but it was kind of scary looking. I really like this romantic one with the petals on it. Very fantastical indeed. See, you saw me pause. I was like, oh my God, I can't put another rock. I'm like completely over it. But I think in the end it looks good. And in this section, I just go back and redo everything because I like the hodgepodginess of the different colors. It makes it look so much better. I do like this mossy stuff. I haven't played with the mossy stuff in a while. I don't think, if ever. And it's really cool. And these Japanese lights, so cute. I want one for my house. I think that would be so cool. Actually, that tree with all the huge lanterns are super, super cool. You see me play around with the airbrushing. I'm trying to get, I felt like, and maybe I still do feel, maybe not as much anymore, but I felt like there was something like majorly missing in the front of this lot. And I think I figured it out in the end, but again, I'm focusing a lot on detail. I see some of the better builders in the community just really focus on, really the nuts and bolts of it is that you're making your builds look realistic. You are allowing your build to come to life and allowing your Sims to be able to take advantage of a build that is not only aesthetically pleasing, but very functional. I've been on a building binge lately, and I think I've seen about, no exaggeration, probably 25 videos, building the Sims 4 building videos in the last 2 or 3 weeks, just to get ideas, just to look at how everyone approaches their challenges and roofs. That is all. All right, so this first floor is going to be blue and purple theme. The majority of the items in the very first floor are completely focused on, well, the actual library aspect of it. So most of your shelving will be in this level, but you're going to have a lot of toddler items on this first level. You'll see me place high chairs in there eventually. I also wanted this area to have fun foods for children, so I figure out a way to ensure that we have a popcorn machine and an ice cream machine. And this is where I just clutter the heck. Oh, I love these doors. Oh my gosh, these doors are so amazing. Anyhoozle, I really ensure that I clutter the place up, that there's no item in all of our packs that are children focus are left behind. If you don't have some of the packs, I think the system will replace the items with something that you do have. So if you don't have these shelves, it'll get replaced with something else. So not to worry, the game will take care of you. Bubble blowers, I saw those and I decided why the heck not. I think there's a Wabbit tablet that I also lay out. You got your toddler blocks, a very toddler focus centric area. This is such a fun level. And this thing, I didn't even know we had this thing. And it is the coolest interactable object. It's that you can build blocks by yourself or with a friend if you're a child. I really like that. I really try to focus on just a crap ton of color. Just give me everything that's colorful, please. But also not obnoxiously obtrusive so that your eyes bleed. I really want you to want to come to this room. And then I realized I'm pulling everything out because I realized, again, guess what I realized? Yep, you got it. No stairs. I forgot the stairs. But I remembered before I play tested to bring in the stairs. So I just put the stairs in the corner, move everything back. I think I just removed one shelf that didn't fit. So just going back in, getting little potty toilets for the toddlers, getting a high chair for the toddlers, and they're working. I did play test them and everything is a-okay. This second level is going to be pink. And I struggled with the lighting up here. So you see me put in those two huge green things. And then I'm like, it clashes a little bit. And no, we're just not going to do it. So what I focus on this top level is skill leveling. So while you have your computers, your shelving, and the toddler focus, food focus on the first floor, the second floor is going to be leveling. So you have, I have a castle there. I have the video gaming Pokemon thingies on each of the corners of the towers on the second floor. But I have the scientist center, and I have drawing tables, and I have more toys, and I really focus on seating up here. So in a little bit you'll see me put in a sofa and some chairs, some more library shelves. And then I just clutter the place up. Just a bunch of posters and colors and decals and clutter on the floor. I mean, the Parenthood pack really outdid themselves with all the objects and the colors and the clutter. So I use more than I probably should have. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm so sorry, my voice sounds tired. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't want to leave without putting up one more video before I come back. So, and this is such a special one for me. I love it. I love every single aspect of this build, and I wish that I was a little girl and that there was a place like this that I could go to. Seriously. And just a friendly reminder, unfortunately, I don't have any more videos for you for the rest of the week. I'm planning on getting something ready and going by next weekend. That's the hope anyway. But if you're really digging this build and you download it, please hit me up on Twitter. If you haven't followed me yet on Twitter and you have a Twitter account, what are you waiting for? I'm on Twitter all the time. Hello, you can just shoot me a message. No, but seriously, if you really like the build, the link for the download is in the description down below. yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the little mini clips of Leo and Claudia. I hope you enjoyed this build. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of the images and the music and the sign off. If you are in America and you're celebrating 4th of July, I hope you have a safe and wonderful time with your friends and family. And if you are somewhere else in the world where you're celebrating something this weekend, I wish you the same, a safe and a happy one. You guys, virtual hugs. And I'll talk to you super, super soon. Bye.